What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to GmiasWorld. Today we're going to be talking about building your team up, how you should be building your team again. This is actually, I believe, part 3. We're going to be jumping into it. You guys seem to be, enjoying the series because it's actually been helping a lot of you guys to win more games, because now you kind of figure like what you need to pay attention to, what really doesn't matter, and how to make sure that you are out there giving your best show, because you have to know the plays that actually work, and you have to have the personnel to make sure that those plays work in order to be successful in Madden 20. So let's go ahead and jump back into the overall gameplay and what's happening, all right? Now, as far as abilities go and everything that goes with chemistries and the thresholds and all that stuff that goes on, I've been getting a lot of questions about why did EA add other other X factors and other abilities that these players can get, but they're not unlocked yet. And the answer is pretty simple. Let's go ahead and use an example with Terrell Owens. All right, we're going to go to his upgrade screen and we're going to take a look at it and try to figure out exactly what, people have been asking about. So when you look at this, you'll see that these are X'd out, right? So it tells you achieve a 96 overall, achieve a 95 juke. It tells you to do all that stuff. And many of you guys are wondering, like, how are you supposed to be able to do that? Why would they put that out there right now? Okay, what I'm going to tell you right now is I wouldn't really worry about this too much, because even if you guys chem it, which I've been asking about, I don't think that if you chem the card like outside of this screen that it's going to unlock that. I do believe that they have it so as they increase the overall of the cards periodically, those things will unlock. It's just giving you the requirements of what's going to be needed for it. You see what I'm saying? Like, these are the things that kind of make sure that you understand what's going to be coming for the near future. I like that they put it in the game because it gives us something to work towards, and those certain abilities are going to absolutely make it a lot easier for us to win more games, namely armbar. Now, remember, I had the full bow, and they kind of patched what he was doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can see right there, you need a 95 stiff arm to actually get it. So many of the players don't have it inside of MUT yet. And that's actually something that that's what they wanted to do, because they didn't want to have everybody just be able to do it. Also, they're going to be putting out a new patch very, very soon that's going to alter the way the game plays. I don't know exactly what's going to happen with the run game, but because of all these complaints about the run game, they're going to probably be changing up the way that people are able to run the ball every single snap. The thing that's hilarious about that is I've actually seen games in the NFL where players have run the ball pretty much like the Ravens and stuff like that. Back before Lamar Jackson, when he wasn't really throwing the ball a lot, he was one of those guys that would just hand the ball off every snap. 2 running back systems, sometimes 3, and they would do it, and dudes getting punched in the throat with armbar, and it was realistically happening. I understand though, because I see it from both sides. You guys make some great points. I got stiff armed from Bo the other day during a live stream, and I almost fell out of my chair, and it's a video game, so like I was getting punched in the face so hard, the sound effects that it makes was so loud and crazy. I was like, oh snap, it hit me. Like, it was wild. But again, regardless of those situations, that's what this is about. Once we get to that point where we start unlocking these things, when we start achieving different type of overalls, I will definitely let you guys know about that, as far as like upgrading your team to make sure that you are winning more games. But namely, the reason that I went on this TO card, right? This guy is a really, really good card to have on your squad to help you win more games. I'm going to explain to you several different things that he actually adds to your squad. Namely, in Madden 20, when you're looking at the strength factor, it's very, very rare situations where the strength doesn't apply to making your team better. I'm going to explain that real quick. That new Melvin Ingram card, he has a sick finesse move, but he has low strength and he has low block shed. And I already know that based on, the fact that if you chem him up and he reaches that threshold of 95, he's 95 finesse, he's going to be unbelievable. And some of you guys are saying like, bro, how do you, like, what do you mean? How do you know that? Like, what's going on with that? Let me tell you why I know that. If you play any mode with any, like, I don't care if it's KO, MUT, whatever, head-to-head, regular, regs, whenever you have a guy with over 90 finesse move, that dude, no matter what his strength is and whatever else he's doing, he's coming into the backfield. And the reasoning behind that, I don't know. And we've already tested it out based with like Joey Bosa with lower speeds and just having that crazy finesse. We've done everything possible to pretty much be able to determine that finesse move is a glitch. So there are certain things that it applies to where it won't go all the way through with the regular formula. But the reason that I point out the 78 strength with Terrell Owens is because in the run game, he's a lot stronger than a lot of the other receivers, which means he will hold his blocks longer. So you can come out and run heavy sets and just not care. And then when they start pressing you, you easily play action and you throw it over the top. And that's pretty much how he really adapts to making your team so much better, on the field. Many of you guys probably have theme teams. Obviously, he can be any of these teams right here. So my Dallas Cowboy fans, Eagle fans, 49er, Buffalo, Bengal fans, you guys can all, add components of other players. And I think you need 25 to get +1 speed. That's a lot, though. I think they used to be able to get +3 speed, but whatever. Some of you guys have enough of like 49ers, Cowboys, whatever, to get that speed. You can do a lot of other things with him to get him up to a much better blocking stance and everything like that. But I highly recommend him because he's a guy, like I said, he's like a tight end with his strength and everything that he does. So instead of putting like George Kittle or Delanie Walker out there, yeah, you might look at his run block and say, bro, Gmia, he's only a 53. What happens is it applies based on the position of the player. So, like how in the past, I think it was like Madden 16, guys used to come out and run pistol every play and put old linemen at tight end and do all that stuff. What I've noticed in this Madden, even if you put somebody that's out of position that has a higher rating at that position, he won't play as well at that position. It's like they've changed it up a little bit, unless you run an aggressive. But when players are out of position, it's more likely that they're going to call holding. So it's like better if you're going to run an aggressive the entire game and not care about your opponent, that you keep them in their natural position. Because that way I've noticed that I've gone the whole game running on aggressive and they don't even call it, they don't call any penalties. So if you had T.O. at the wide receiver position and you were running, just running the ball every play, you had it on aggressive, would they call you for holding? Maybe once or twice, but it would far outweigh, your success would far outweigh all the other things that would be going on. So you wouldn't have much issue with that. All right. So this is a player that I definitely wanted to really just, show you guys visibly. Why? And then also he has that crazy stiff arm. So instead of doing like jukes and stuff with T.O., he also stiff arm dudes the way that dudes with armbar does. And I've gotten those animations where I've stiff armed the guy for like 5 minutes and went into the end zone for 6 because there was only one guy left. I haven't like really stiff armed any linemen, but like wide receivers after I catch the ball, absolutely 100%. Like this dude is going to town on him. So I want you guys to understand, as far as wide receivers go, he does have one of the higher, run blocks at 53. He's stronger than a lot of them, and he's just more physical. And for those of you guys that are looking for that thrill of like bringing back user catching or face catching or whatever, he moves around so big in the front. If you throw the ball right, you can actually, moss people, because I believe his catching traffic is pretty high as well. 91, which is why he really comes down with a lot of those throws with crazy animations. So for me, that's one of the things that I wanted to really highlight in this video, because some of you guys need specifics. I've already spoken to you about the O-line. I let you guys know clearly that Lane Johnson will be removed once I'm not dead broke, and we'll go from there. But these guys are still top tier linemen. Allen, Mawai, Matthews, and Munoz, you guys definitely need that for your run game. Because even if you want to pass, say that you got a nice passing offense, you still need these guys just in case, because they're good pass protectors, and they're also obviously very, very good run blockers, and they're pretty strong as well. So this combination with, Kittle, Delanie Walker, they are new versions of the cards. I just want to point out that even though you don't have to spend excessive amounts of stuff, you can still make him a little bit better before you need his Mud Hero card. Okay, you can see that his speed jumps ridiculously with the card. His run block obviously goes to an 85, so that becomes a little bit more dominant. Pair that with the fact that he's also a 49er. You don't have to have him as a Titan. Those things actually really, really help. So would he be somebody that you should go after? I think if you're going to be running the ball, absolutely. But again, like I mentioned before, they will be putting out a title update where they will be addressing the way that people run. Now, again, you see his strength is a 77 and you just saw T.O. at a 78. Those are huge factors, because the strength is going to make sure they stay on those blocks, especially when you're running RPOs. All right, that stronger player is going to hold that block longer. So Delanie Walker, because he got the MUT Heroes, you could actually make him, you know, upgrade him a little bit more. This is where he is right now. You could add 1710, but then his run block will still be under that 85 tier. So ideally, you would want to add everything to make sure that you got everything out of the card, if that's what you're looking to do. All right, so definitely take a look at that, because this is the reason why I haven't gotten rid of a lot of my players. Now, with players like Gronkowski, the one that was just released, many of you guys are asking about that as well. Before I let you go, you know, I just wanted to point out, you know, the different aspects of, you know, the run game. These are key things, because Owens at wide receiver really hurts your opponent. Because you leave him out there in all your run-heavy sets. There is no need to put a tight end in. This is very critical to any run game that you do right now. Eye close, eye tight. Whatever you're running, the power O's, whatever you're doing, him being out there, just make sure you understand, at some point when you're running the ball down your opponent's throat, he's going to press. He's going to bring everybody up. And then you're going to block everybody and play action, and T.O. is going to be wide open because he has a very high beat press, so he'll beat any of the coverages that are out there, and it don't matter what zone the person is in. Once you run the play action and everybody's down, you should beat them over the top. Now, before I let you guys go, like I was saying before, I want to point out something about Gronkowski, because many of you guys are, you're looking at it and you're like, yo, Gmia, he doesn't really have, those stats that make him that much better than everybody else. Like, what's going on? What is this about? All right, let me kind of explain to you again what's going on with Gronkowski. All right, Gronkowski is one of those players that, for his namesake, that's why he's what he is. You see, like, he should be like around 1 million coins, but people are going to spend that for him because he's going to be a unique tight end for a very long time. So when we talk about the run game and all the other things that are going on, let me just point out a few things, right? That run block, look at some of the other things that he has, though. We're going to go down to, where is it? His impact blocking, right? You see like how Delanie Walker is just way better? Well, not way better, but he meets the tier. Remember, when you power up Gronk, he hits that 80 impact block. I just want to point that out. All the other things that he has, the stiff arm, okay, his truck, these things are what make him unique. The run block and everything like that, I understand, but he also has good pass blocking. And then the major thing about it is, for me, I do not believe that you're going to see a difference in the way Rob Gronkowski blocks, even with Delanie Walker fully maxed out. That's my opinion. And then many of you guys ask me like, yo, bro, what do you mean? Why wouldn't that, be a huge factor? Because Gronk is so much stronger. You see what I'm saying? Like, even when his strength goes up and we max him out, Gronk is still the stronger player because he's going to get chemmed to 85. All right. So when you're looking for that stout player that you want to have on an island by himself just blocking, Gronk is going to perform a lot better than all the other cards, even though his ratings at like run block, it doesn't show. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are the type of things that people don't really understand. They look at it like, oh, bro, look at this. Look at Greg Olsen. I understand all that. But Greg Olsen he's weak. He's weak in the game, which means that players are going to be able to just do whatever they want to do to him. You know what I'm saying? He has a decent spec catch and all that stuff. Gronk, if you possession catch with Gronk, he's probably going to hold on to it. You know what I'm saying? Like the medium route run at 81, his short route run at 84. You're going to see differences in the way he does that stuff. His beat press is 87, chem to an 88. So if you have somebody on the line, and like we were just talking about T.O., if you wanted to actually put him on the outside and then you streak him, he's going to get off that press no matter how good the corner is because he's bigger, he's stronger. And those type of things have huge factors. And then you come and you add all that with the fact that his break tackle is going to be at 85 when it's chem. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are like running back numbers. So that's the reason why his price is still so high. And many of you guys were wondering why other players seem to be better than him and his price is still that high. Now, it probably will come down to about 1.5, maybe down to 1 mil after we all get our free card, because we have like 3 more weeks to do that. But if you were to pull him, he would add a different dimension to your run game to make it that much better. So me personally, I wouldn't sell him. I would keep him just because of his namesake, and it's Madden. He's going to outplay everybody else that's in the game. And he has those numbers where you can really work your opponent, run game, pass game, and all that stuff with him. And then you can pretty much get rid of one of the other fullbacks. But I would keep Kittle and Delanie Walker simply because they have great run block and they also can run routes. The fullbacks can't run routes, so if it comes down to you trying to have to make a play, that's going to be very difficult for you to do that. And those are some of the things that you guys really need to pay attention to as you go forward in the game, because it's going to make your team that much more dominant on the field. So look into getting that stuff done, and pretty much prepare for the patch that's going to be coming to make sure that the players that you're using can also run routes as well as do other things. Because if you only can run block, like Anthony Sherman and Patrick Ricard, if you only can run block, that's going to be very, very difficult to be able to do anything else for your squad. You are not going to be able to do a lot of other things, because if you're not run blocking with him, that's it. Like, he's not going out there and running routes and doing everything like that. But Gronk can do all of those things, and that's what makes him very, very unique. And then you add the strength factor. Okay, you see these guys with 86 strength. These are fullbacks that are like, Corey is very, very good, and I just showed you Gronk. He gets chem to like an 85. Look at these strength factors. He's up there with the fullbacks. There's nobody else running around doing stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So you got to look at that 72 strength, 74. So those are ideal things. So I just wanted to point that out. If you're able to pull him, I would keep him, just because I know that it will make your run game that much more crazy. And TO is absolutely a must, because depending on your tight sets, eye tight, even if you run eye close and you put him out there, you're going to get a lot more success running the football in Madden 20. All right. If you guys want me to go further in depth for the next one, just write more in the comments, and I'll get at you guys very, very soon. I want to thank you guys for watching. You enjoy your day. Be safe. Until next time. One love.